Alright, Shalom. First and foremost, I want to begin by giving all the praises, honor, and the glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rocha HaKodash, and double honors unto my apostles, elders, teachers at Great Millstone, Well. Peace, love, mercy, and salutations to all you sincere brothers that are scattered, pushing the true gospel of our Lord Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, in all sincerity and in truth, alright? Now, I got a video here, that was actually sent to me, just going into, the earth being out of course. And ultimately, the reason why that is because Satan, okay, who his physical counterpart is Esau Edom, so-called white man who's in power, okay, he has destroyed everything. And not only that, but he's also using certain diet, okay, to come up against you because, food plays a heavy role, okay, to what type of spirit, okay, you're in, what type of vibration you're in, water, okay, very important, water, and its frequency, okay, it plays a heavy role in how you act, how you move, and so on and so forth. And so what this man has done is that he's tampered, okay, with, all types of food, okay, which, controls the people, it controls your mind, it puts you under, a certain vibration, and, ultimately in a very, very low and dark, weak, okay, certain spirit. And so this man, okay, not only has he tampered with, you know, everything out there, the different philosophies, the different systems in which he has designed to ultimately, put you, okay, in a destructive, okay, in order for you to be detrimental to yourself, man. Okay, the scriptures talk about in the book of, Psalms, the 83rd chapter, how, that these heathen nations, beginning with Esau, Edom, they have come together, okay, and made an agreement and have said, let us cut them off from being a nation. Okay, so ultimately, this video here is going into, canola oil. And this man right here, he'll explain to you how, toxic and harmful, okay, it is to your body. Because, ultimately, it's not actually food, okay? But, they have, made it cheap so that people are, able to consume it, all right? Things like, the olive oil, okay, it's a lot more expensive than, cologne oil. And, when you go to the grocery store, you'll see big jugs of cologne oil and you're like, yo, what the heck? I might as well buy this, not knowing that, that shit is harmful for you, man. Okay, destroys, your body and all of that, man. All right, so let me play this video. This man will explain, okay, because when you go to these grocery stores, man, you got to know what to pick up. A lot of it, our diet is, poor, okay, ultimately because, we're under the curses, but also Jake doesn't have the knowledge. You got to know, okay, certain things that are good or bad for you, okay? When you go to the store, don't be picking up watermelon that, are seedless. All right, any fruit, okay, that has no seed, you got to question yourself, where the hell did it come from then? If it has no seed, the scriptures clearly talk about how, these fruits, I'm a bearing seed after their kind, and so on and so forth. Yahweh Shai, had given us the herb, okay, and so on and so forth. But, that's, a topic for a different day. But, let's play this video and then we'll bring out some precepts about the earth being out of course. And ultimately, again, it's because of Esau Edom. All right.
Did you know rapeseed oil, what we now call canola oil, was never meant to be eaten? It was first recorded in ancient India, not as food, as fuel. Used to light lamps in homes and temples. It burned well, that was the point. Fast forward a few thousand years, and during World War II, it found a new use, lubricating steam engines and war machines. Why? Because it stuck to metal even under extreme heat. But there was a problem. Traditional rapeseed oil is high in erucic acid, a compound linked to heart damage in animal studies, toxic in large amounts, banned in some countries for human consumption. So in the 1970s, Canadian scientists stepped in. They bred a new version, low in erucic acid, and gave it a fresh name, canola, short for Canadian oil low acid. It was rebranded as food, but only after heavy processing. We're talking hexane solvent extraction, bleaching, deodorizing, refining, all to make it look clean, taste neutral, seem safe. Today, it's everywhere. In your salad dressing, your margarine, your protein bar, even baby food. But the truth is simple. This wasn't some ancient culinary tradition. It was lamp oil, then machine grease, and only after decades of breeding and chemical treatment did it end up on your plate. This isn't food history, it's food marketing, and the real story is hidden in plain sight. Did you know rape?
You see, and there you have it. Now, ultimately, you do to the best of your ability, all right? But at the same time, don't just be, going out of your way to go pick up canola oil, okay? You see? And I believe, they even talked about, I believe, for example, these different soft drinks like, Coca-Cola. You see, that shit is bad for you, man. I believe, I read somewhere or I heard about how, they use, Coke, to, I'm gonna clean off rust. You'll have a rusty, as vehicle, and you can use Coca-Cola, and it'll make that rust, shining like brand new. Or, all the roadkills, on the highways, all that blood, that you see on the road, they use Coke to actually wash it away. So imagine you consuming that and putting that shit in your body, man. Okay, now again, like I said, we're under the curses. You know, you do to the best of your ability, but also, you gotta, pick, the best of the worst. In other words, all right. Now let's get this precept. Okay, the earth out of course. Okay, beautiful. The book of Psalm chapter 82 verse 5, it says, they know not, neither will they understand. They walk on in darkness. All the foundation of the earth are out of course. And the reason why is because Edom, who's in rulership, okay, he has the power, okay, to be able to say what goes and what doesn't. And a lot of people who, don't know whether to go left or right, they follow after his path. And so ultimately, he has the power also on what is, put out there, for the foods, okay, in these different grocery stores and so on and so forth, man. Okay. So with this man, because he had destroyed the earth, Yahweh Ba'ashem is going to destroy him. Okay, what's that? I think that's in the book of Revelation. Destroyeth the earth, if I'm not mistaken. Let me see if I can find that. I think it's in the book of Revelation. Okay. So, give me 1 second. Beautiful. The book of Revelation, chapter 11, verse 18, it says, and the nations were angry, and thy wrath is come, and the time of the dead, that they should be judged, and thou shouldest give reward unto thy servant the prophet, and to the saints, and to them that fear thy name, small and great, and shouldest destroy them which destroyed the earth. You see that? So the Lord Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua is coming back, okay, to take this man out of rulership, because ultimately, okay, he put the foundation of the earth out of course. You see, everything is not what it is. All right. All the, foods in which, you pick up at these different grocery stores, they're not actually what you think it is. Okay. These different restaurants. All right. You just pray that what you're eating is chicken. You pray that, the foods in which you are eating are lawful. All right. And this is why you always gotta put up prayers before you drink your water, before you eat your meals, because it's all under the mercy of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai, okay, as to the reason why we're alive. Because if the Lord Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai was not dealing with us, all of us would die, man. Okay, just by breathing this air. You see, the whole earth right now is not, under its full strength. And so therefore everything can destroy you. And this is all under the mercy of our Lord Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai as to, why we are still alive, man. Okay. And so ultimately, at the end of the day, the Lord Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai is revealing this man for all the wickedness in which he had done. Okay. And he continues to do until he be taken out of rulership. Okay. But not only is, the canola oil, not only is it harmful for you, you see, it even, That that guy brought out the information about how it's toxic to animals. You see, it's not meant for food. But not only that, there's a lot, man. There's so many things out there, okay, that are destructive, okay, to your body. But they allow these things to be sold in these different stores, man. Then ultimately, this is why we need Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai. Okay, when we talk about the Lord ruling, Yahweh Bashim Shai returning, taking this man out of rulership, we're talking about a righteous kingdom, man, where everything is natural, everything is actually, everything is righteous. You see, and that's what we desire after, man. All right, so I just wanted to bring that out. Lord Yahweh Bashim Shai willing that it was edifying. Until next time, Shalom, Yahweh Bashim Shai Barakatah.